Greetings and welcome. So today I want to talk about what I read for GarbAugust. So GarbAugust was an event created by Ollie from Criminali, and this year it was called GarbAugust 4, the final chapter, with the tagline, "Don't panic, read trash." So I absolutely love that. I saw that and I wanted to lightly participate because it seems like the point is basically just to turn off your brain and read some trashy, fluffy novels, and that sounded like a great time to me. There's a whole setup of weekly prompts and some read-along books and stuff like that, but I decided to just sort of lightly participate and join in reading trashy, fluffy novels. So I just kind of picked a few things off my shelf that I thought sort of fit the prompt, and so I wanted to share those with you today. So I was going to include Lady Chatterley's Lover in with all the GarbAugust because it's a sensationalized book and so it fit the prompt, but I actually ended up DNFing Lady Chatterley's Lover because I just did not care about the characters. I tried reading and it just didn't keep my attention. I just kind of didn't care what was going on. It was just sort of a flop for me. And maybe it gets better, but like I didn't read that far in, but I just couldn't keep myself going. It was just like, this is not fun. So since the point of GarbAugust, I felt like was just to have fun, read silly things, Lady Chatterley's Lover didn't really fit it, and I decided to DNF. If I decide I might go back, I might try rereading it, but I was going to try to get myself to read all the way up to 100 pages just to confirm that no, it's not, but like I couldn't get past page 30. Like it just wasn't catching my attention. I didn't care about the characters. It fell flat for me. So that one is not included, but since I said I was gonna include it in, I figured I'd give you an update on the fact that I DNF'd it, which is fine. So instead I read Accidentally Amy, which is this really cute, it's just really fun and silly. It's just your generic romance novel. So it was just cute and fun, and our main characters met in a coffee shop and got to know each other, but then found out that they work at the same office and that the guy ended up being her boss, so like they can't date, but they really like each other, so they end up texting, and then just sort of the chaos of that, of them trying to be friends, but being attracted to each other, and it was just silly and fun, and I had a good time with it. So that was a fun GarbAugust read, because it was just a silly little romance and just something fun. So I had a good time with that. And I had originally picked out a historical romance and a set of short stories that were sort of sensationalized. And so I tried reading those and I just wasn't in the mood for them. So I put them aside and I decided to actually pick up a couple of comic books and a graphic novel series that I had on my shelf that had just sort of been sitting around that I hadn't gotten around to. I had a couple of these random comics that I had just picked up from the 50-cent bin at the local comic shop because they sounded fun. So it was really interesting to kind of go in and just get like a snippet of a story. I have first edition of Distorted, which seemed to kind of be like this society where there's people that have different superpowers, and it looked kind of like there was a government agency that was trying to like come after them. But again, because it's just the first comic, you just get the setup, but it seemed really cool. So if I see any more Distorted, I might have to pick them up because it looked like a really fun story, but it was really interesting just to get like the little snippet from the one comic. So, and then I had Laura and Other Stories. Apparently it's from the artist of Batman and the Joker, so like it looks really fun. It was just a bunch of little stories about this girl named Laura, and it seemed really cool. It was fun. And then I actually had comic 5 of Frontiersman. I think I just picked it up because of the cover. It looked fun, and it was kind of fun because it was a little bit in the middle of the story, so you get a little context, but like part of it was, I guess, Frontiersman battling this monster, and it was just like, and there were like little snippets of what was going on around it, but again, the comics was interesting because I just picked up random ones, so it was just like these weird little snippets of story that I don't know the rest of the context to, but so that was fun. That was just fun little read, and I love comic books and graphic novels. So, and I also had this graphic novel series called Giant Days that I picked up volume 1 and volume 2, and they were really fun. So Giant Days is about these 3 girls in university and just the shenanigans they get up to and their interactions and what they do together, the things they're doing in university, and just fun sort of slice of life kind of comic. So that was fun. I know there's a couple of volumes of this one, so I might pick up the rest. But those were good to read. That was fun. Just sort of university shenanigans, and they were really fun characters. They were just really enjoyable to follow. So yeah, so those were the few things I read for GarbAugust. I just wanted to pick up a couple of simple, silly fluff books. I'd originally tried to go a little more sensationalized because that seemed to be a little bit more of the prompt, but I just wasn't in the mood, so I just went for fluff. And it was a lot of fun, and it kind of worked out. I felt like I didn't have as much time for reading this month, so just being able to sort of read some light stuff, some fun, that really, really helped and was a good time. So I really like the concept of GarbAugust, that it just sort of gives everyone an opportunity and a time to like focus on just reading silly, fluffy, fun things, just to kind of get your mind off other things and just relax and have fun. Because that's just as valid as the deep, emotional, complex stories as well. There's a time for both of them. Sometimes you might want something that makes you feel a lot of emotions, and sometimes you just want something that's fun and fluffy and a little bit of escapism. So it was really nice to sort of have that space to like really focus on just silly, fun things. So I really appreciated that. So yeah, so participating in GarbAugust, as little as it was really fun, and I really appreciate Ollie for setting this up. And if you haven't checked him out, make sure to go check him out. I'll put a link to his channel and the GarbAugust introduction video down in my description. And it's always fun to take part in sort of community events on BookTube and things that like a bunch of people are doing. It just feels nice to be part of a conversation, or even just part of everybody's doing this at the same time kind of thing. It makes it feel like a community. So it's been really nice to share, and I hope there's more things with BookTube that I can collaborate with and be a part of, even if it's just everybody gets a prompt of read this type of book and we all read that book and make a little video on it or something. So it's been really nice, and it's nice to be part of the BookTube community. I've been having a really nice time. Let me know if you took part in GarbAugust, what you read, or what kind of books you like to read that are just fluffy and silly. Leave recommendations down in the comments. And as always, I hope you all have a wonderful day.